Okay, very good, thank you.
No, you guys should. You guys
And then they say, well, we're safe in this but they're going to do X, Y, and Z to us and change everything, and then we're going to have to get into that. This is just,
long day. Hold it down for her.
Just got here a little bit early.
Yeah, no, no, I landed maybe 30 minutes a festival. I don't see the potato. There was a festival. There was I'm ethnic. It's called Hey, Tanya.
You're with us. All right, all right.
I'll be speakers, so just fill in behind me.
Thank you. Let me get it back. Okay, gotcha.
Good evening. My name is Gene Wu. I'm a minority leader in Texas and the leader of the Democrats in the Texas House. We're not here to have fun. We're not here because this is easy, and we did not make the decision to come here today. We did not make a decision lightly. But we come here today with absolute moral clarity that this is absolutely the right thing to do to protect the people of the state of Texas. For the last few weeks, Texas families have been burying their loved ones who were killed in the very preventable tragedy that occurred in Central Texas. Over 100 Texans died, many of them very young souls. And all Texans across the state have asked for is that the legislature focus and spend its time taking care of the families who are grieving and helping the communities who are recovering to accomplish their goals. Instead, Governor Abbott has used this tragedy, taken these families who are grieving, taken these communities who are struggling to recover and used them as hostages in a political game. It's been 2 weeks. They don't even have a bill filed to deal with what they promised to deal with. And instead, they have spent their entire time playing dirty political games that only help themselves. And what is even worse, their attempts to do this, their attempts to disenfranchise Texans, the tool they're using is a racist, gerrymandered map. A map that seeks to use racial lines to divide hard-working communities who have spent decades building up their power and strengthening their voices. And Governor Abbott is doing this in submission to Donald Trump, so that Donald Trump could steal these communities' power and voice. We will not be complicit in the destruction of our own communities. We will not be complicit in the destruction of any communities in Texas. We will hold people accountable, and we will defend our state to the absolute best of our abilities. We're not here to play political games. We're here to demand an end to this corrupt process.
Yeah, absolutely.
We ask them to stop hiding things from the public. We ask them to stop doing things behind closed doors. We ask them to stop attacking Texas communities. They refused because their loyalty and fealty to Donald Trump overrides all other interests. We have been a part of this corruption for too long. We have seen it too many times, where Republican leaders promise our communities that they will protect our families and do what is necessary, but time and time again, they say pretty words and then take care of themselves. Well, today, this corruption ends. Today, the people of the state of Texas have said enough. Enough of your games. Enough of your lies. Today, the corruption of Donald Trump and Greg Abbott ends. Next up, we'll welcome our former caucus chair, Trey Martinez-Fisher.
Thank you, Chair Wu. Thank you, Governor Pritzker. Thank you, Illinois. I think what my colleague is saying, that this statement, this quorum break, is not about the Democratic Party. It is about the democratic process. We from Texas are so familiar with the phrase of our Apollo 13 mission, Houston, we have a problem. Well, I say, America, we have a problem. The largest democracy in the world, and yet a Texas governor would bend a knee to Donald Trump because he's afraid to lose an election fair and square. He would rig these maps to have politicians pick voters so that he can not have to deal with a Congress that will provide oversight, accountability, and real checks and balances like our founders wanted us to. This is wrong, this is un-American, and this is undemocratic. In America, we need to wake up. Republicans are stealing our democracy right before our very eyes. But guess what? Texas Democrats are here, and we have a message for Donald Trump. Not on our watch.
Right.
We will not have our democracy taken on our watch. never, ever, ever underestimate the will of the American people when it comes to protecting and preserving our democracy and our voting rights. And that is why we are here, and that's what this is about. From California to New York, from Illinois, Governor, to Texas. We are all in this together. We should wake up and rise up and speak out against this injustice, and it's time to go to work. And as they say back in Texas, I think it's time we need to cowboy up and get to work and push back. So we're pleased to be here. I had the good fortune of having Gene's job a few years ago where we had to make a quorum break, and my partner in crime who helped with that is our former Democratic Caucus chair, and that is Chairman Chris Turner. Chris?
Thank you, Trey. So, by denying the Texas House of Representatives quorum, we are using the power that we have as state legislators under the Texas Constitution to fight for our constituents. And we are all elected to fight for the people we represent. And that's exactly what we are doing here today. I want members of the media to know that in addition to the legislators you see here in front of you today, here in Chicago, there are others who are joining us in Chicago shortly. We also have delegations of our caucus in Albany and in Boston who are meeting with leaders in those states to tell them what's happening in the state of Texas. And we also have several other members who are elsewhere, but they are not in Austin, and they are not going back to the Capitol. Together, we are united in this fight, and we are working to spread the word about what's happening in Texas. Donald Trump wants more power. That's what this is about. He wants to face no accountability and no consequences. And that's why he's demanding Texas rig our congressional districts. The people of Texas have made their voices very, very clear on this. Over the course of the last 10 days, thousands of Texans have turned out to make their voices heard in our House Redistricting Committee hearings. 99% of them, and I'm not exaggerating, 99% of them have demanded that we reject Trump's Texas takeover. So what did the Republicans do? What did the Republicans do in the face of all those people saying don't do this? They ignored them, and they did it anyway. And they've accelerated this plan, this scheme through the process, and that's why we are here tonight. There was a time when a Texas governor wouldn't be afraid to tell a president, any president, don't mess with Texas.
Right.
But Greg Abbott is too subservient and too weak to do that to Donald Trump. So Abbott and the Republicans in the legislature are dutifully following Trump's commands. And this is what this is about. They are engaged in an illegal act of intentional discrimination by tearing apart majority, minority congressional districts across our state. And we are not going to stand for it.
Right.
So we are here to fight for the millions of Texans who don't want Trump's Texas takeover, and we're going to continue to fight for them, and we are here to fight back. My hand back to Leader Wu.
Thank you so much, Chris. Up next, we're going to have Governor Pritzker, and before he comes up, we just want to say thank you to Governor Pritzker for welcoming us, and definitely some need for us to fight, and also thank you to the people of Illinois for welcoming us as well. Thank you so much, Governor.
Well done. Yeah, thank you. Appreciate you. Thank you so much, Leader Wu. Good evening, everyone. A big thanks first to the DuPage County Democrats and their chair, Reed McCollum, for making this space available and hosting us here this evening. We're here to welcome the Texas House of Representatives Democratic Caucus and its leader, Gene Wu, to the great state of Illinois. I was honored to host all of you, a group of you, about 9 days ago, and to learn about the challenges that you might potentially face. And frankly, I wish that we were greeting you under better circumstances today. But instead, we know that you are making great sacrifices to resist the power grab that's being perpetrated by Donald Trump, by Governor Abbott, and by Texas Republicans. You are answering one of the most challenging calls of public service that has ever been asked of you. And you've had to leave behind your families, your full-time jobs, your communities, and you did it to protect the voting rights of the people that you represent and voters all across this nation. Tonight, along with the Speaker of the Illinois House, the President of the Illinois Senate, and millions of Illinoisans, we are very pleased to welcome you and to stand in solidarity with you and send a clear message to all Americans. We will not let power go unchecked.
Right.
Or let your voices and their voices go unheard. Over the past few months, my political team and I have been in direct and regular contact with the Texas Democratic Caucus. In late June, I was able to spend time with the Texas Democratic Party Chair, Kendall Scudder, who traveled all the way from Dallas to prepare for this exact possibility. Last week, I was honored to host Chair Wu and members of his delegation for a frank discussion about what was at stake and how Illinois could help. I want to level set with you about what is happening in Texas and how it affects us all and why we are grateful that our friends from Texas are here tonight. Since Donald Trump came into office, he has taken calculated and explicit steps to grab unprecedented power and to silence his dissenters. He has ignored federal orders, federal court orders, encroached on states' rights, and he has strained our Constitution. As his cruel agenda reared its ugly head, Trump saw his poll numbers tanking and has begun to see that Republicans will likely lose control of Congress in 2026. When you try to tear health care away from veterans and seniors and people with disabilities, and stop food assistance for the most vulnerable working families in America, and raise prices on everyday groceries, all to fund tax breaks for the wealthiest people in this country, then voters are likely going to throw your party out. So Trump came up with a new scheme, rig the system by ramming through a corrupt mid-decade redistricting plan that would steal 5 congressional seats, silencing millions of voices, especially Black and Latino voters. Let's be clear, this is not just rigging the system in Texas. It's about rigging the system against the rights of all Americans for years to come. Now, Texas Republicans submitted to the president's orders and took steps to advance Trump's Texas takeover. And while Texas Democrats have been trying to work across the aisle to deliver disaster relief after the devastating floods in central Texas, Republicans chose to use the tragedy as political cover to cheat. That brings us to today. Texas Democrats were left no choice but to leave their home state, block a vote from taking place, and protect their constituents. This is a righteous act of courage, and we can all take a page from these leaders' playbook. When you show people that you have the will to fight, well, they can muster the will to fight too.
That's right.
Courage is contagious. I am very proud that Illinois Democrats have been in this fight from day one of Donald Trump's presidency. In the coming days and weeks, Illinois will partner with the Texas House Democratic Caucus to put a spotlight on the danger that Trump and Texas Republicans pose to all Americans. To be in public office right now is to constantly ask yourself, how do I make sure that we're standing on the right side of history? There's a simple answer. The wrong side of history will always tell you to be afraid.
That's right.
The right side of history will always expect you to be courageous. Expect courage from people around you, and it will show up. Expect fear, and fear will rule the day. Let the courage of these leaders be an example to the rest of the country. I'm proud to stand side by side with our friends from Texas today, and we'd be happy to take your questions.
Mr. Wu, can you talk about what is going to happen if you make it through the 19th and then another special session is called? Are you prepared to stay Is the whole group prepared to stay here through multiple special sessions?
So look, whatever strategy we choose, whatever tactics we figure out as we move on, the only thing we have in our minds is what do we need to do to protect Texans? What do we need to do to protect Americans? And what each and every one of us has said is that we will do whatever it takes. That what that looks like, we don't know. But we're here, we're committed to this, right? We're all away from our families that we've already been away from for 6 months because of the legislature. That we've been away from our jobs. We've not earned a lot of income this entire year, and our salary for being in the legislature is $600 a month. So this is not a decision again that we take lightly. And all the things that we are doing right now, we're doing it because we feel that this is the only way we can protect Texans. This is the only way we can protect Americans, and that we would ask everyone else, if you want to protect this country too, come join us.
Hey, Governor, just want to get your reaction to something.
Jeremy.
John Curran, the Illinois Senate Republican leader, he issued a statement today. He called your hosting of the Texas Democrats, quote, the height of hypocrisy, end quote, since you had supported independent map making and pledged to veto a gerrymandered map. He also called the state's Illinois' current congressional map shameless in its attempt to remove choice from voters. He said Illinois Democrats should be focused on strengthening democracy here in our state with fair maps instead of chasing national headlines by intervening in other states. What's your reaction to everything that Leader Curran said about this matter?
Well, let me be clear. We passed a map in Illinois that follows the Constitution, and that is not what Governor Abbott is trying to do in Texas. We believe that the people of Texas deserve to have fair representation and not to have the game changed in the middle of the decade. There already is litigation about the original map that they put in place. Now they want to change it again. That no doubt will end up being litigated too. But let me be clear that they are attempting to cheat. And you know, I think we all know Donald Trump is a cheater.
Yeah.
So is the Attorney General of Texas, Ken Paxton, in so many ways. And we here in Illinois believe that we're, what is 2025? We've had elections now for, the 5 years that this map has been in place. We want to continue to have those fair elections, and we're proud of the fact that Democrats do better than Republicans in those districts where they're hyper-competitive, frankly, and we won in virtually every one of those districts that was competitive.
But when you look at a map that's 14-3.
Yeah, but you're talking about the outcome, Paris. You're talking about the outcome. Look, the fact that we are very good in Illinois about delivering for the people of Illinois and the people react to that and vote for our candidates is very different than cheating mid-decade by rewriting the rules because their cult leader, Donald Trump, tells them to do it.
Governor Sullivan and New York Governor Kathy Hochul have both talked about the possibility of redistricting there. Would you accuse them of also cheating if they do so?
Now, remember, all bets are off when the cult leader and would-be dictator of the United States tells Texas to midstream change the game when they know that they're going to lose in 2026. All bets are off. Everything's got to be on the table, and that So
But how is it cheating in one sense and not cheating in another?
the cheating here is the fact that we are midstream in 2025, and they want to rewrite the map, and for only one reason. The cult leader of their party tells them to do it because he knows he's going to lose control of the House of Representatives.
Attorney General Ken Paxton said Democrats in the Texas House who try and run away like cowards should be found, arrested, and brought back to the Capitol immediately. We should use every tool at our disposal to hunt those down who think that they're above the law. Just reaction to that.
We follow the rules.
Oh, well, they're right. I love that. The members behind me said it all. Look, they're here in Illinois. We're going to do everything we can to protect every single one of them and make sure that, because we know they're doing the right thing. We know that they're following the law. It's Ken Paxton who doesn't follow the law.
Yeah, seriously.
It's the leaders of Texas who are attempting not to follow the law. they're the ones that need to be held accountable.
What conversations have you had about sticking together, knowing what happened in 2021, where this holdout ended after 38 days because some Democrats defected?
So, look, I mean, I think we've discussed this among ourselves enough times that I hope everyone understands that this is not 2021. The world that we're living in today is vastly different. The threats to not only our state, but to our entire country, but the very concept of what America is, this is a different day. The danger that is posed to the American people is not the same. If Donald Trump is allowed to do this, if he is allowed to once again cheat and get away with it, there is no stopping this. This will spread across the country. And just as people say it is distasteful for blue states to do this as well, but this will occur everywhere. Because if one person's going to cheat and no one's going to stop it, why doesn't everyone just do it then? And that is not a society, that is not an America that works for everybody. Everyone is already tired of the hyper-partisan bickering and all the fighting because we never get anything done. And they are creating a system that will reinforce that and make it even worse. And we're telling people, please come out, stand up against it, rise up and say no more, enough.
Was there a moment that set this in motion? When did you all collectively decide to leave the state?
So look, there's not a single moment. And throughout this process, Democrats repeatedly tried to work with Republicans on this, asking them, please, could you just at least show us the maps? Could you at least give us an idea of what you're thinking about, what you're doing? Could you please just at least file the bill to do the flooding relief? Just do something. Stop hiding the ball. Stop doing things in secret. Stop shutting people down. Stop not trying to silence our communities, but actually be effective in silencing the communities, because after they gave 48 hours after they finally revealed the maps, for the public to drive 6-7 hours across the state to come testify. And they were given 2 minutes each, and some people waited 15 hours to testify. And we didn't even finish the testimony. And we asked them, could you please go out and ask? And they said, this is not, the people who testified are not reflective of the opinions of the people of the state of Texas. Then I said, why don't you go out and do more hearings and let people have their say? They refused. Because this entire thing is corrupt. It's a sham process. It's just meant to just have the tiny amount of transparency that they can pretend that's there, and then they hide the ball and get away with whatever they want to get away with. If they are allowed to go unchecked, if this is allowed to go unchecked, this is going to spread across our country and rip it apart.
Represent you as a tell us how many people are here, how many representatives are here, and how many might be coming from New York and Boston?
We'd have to get the numbers.
Governor, would you, as a private citizen or through your Think Big America organization, or urging the DPI, would you cover the $500 a day fines that add up when the Texas legislators are missing?
Look, what they're doing is the right thing. They have a right to raise money, by the way, to support their endeavor. And I'll be clear, I haven't done that. We've done everything in terms of logistics to support, to welcome them. And again, I continue to support the endeavor that they've undertaken here. Others have already done some of that.
Do you think you're going to financially support them as this goes on?
I can't answer that. I can only tell you that I'm going to do everything I can to make sure that they're welcome here, that they have the ability to stay as long as they need to and want to, and we're glad that they're here.
And frankly, there's no need, because the outpouring of support from people, from Americans around the country, the outpouring support, since we've landed, my phone has not stopped ringing, of people texting us, keep going, tell us what you need, give me the donation link.
What is the donation link, by the way? We'll know that in a moment.
To beat this, you would have to stay out of the state serially for months, potentially. are you committed to doing that if it's as corrupt and undemocratic as you say? And if you're not certain, is there value in slowing this down rather than stopping it?
Yeah, so again, we don't know what the next steps are. We're trying to take this day by day. We have never given up trying to talk to our colleagues on the other side. We've never stopped trying to have negotiations and try to work out something that will actually benefit the people of Texas. And we will continue to do that. We'll continue to try. And again, I don't care what it is. The people here are risking their lives, are risking their safety. We had the Attorney General has threatened us. The governor has threatened us. We have members of our body have threatened us. And people take this very seriously. And people are committed to doing what it takes. And that's it.
What are the next steps? What are the next steps? Are you gonna be here tomorrow, raising more awareness about this? How are you gonna still attend to the duties of the people in Texas? I mean, aside, or like what are the next steps for you?
I think.
No, I mean like the regular like legislative duties and all that, like for folks in your district. Like what are the next steps here, basically? For you?
I don't understand.
Day by day activity.
Yeah.
Day by day activity.
Well, we will have morning. We'll have press releases in the morning. We'll tell you what we're doing.
All right. Thanks, everyone.
Governor, thanks so much.
Well done, yeah.